Welcome to the Real Mom Hub, where we celebrate the beautiful, profound transformation into motherhood.
It's a journey that shatters and rebuilds us in incredible ways. We share the voices of everyday moms honing and discovering their natural instincts and superpowers.
We talk to experts to try and make sense of our minds and bodies.
We air out the hard parts of parenting people don't like to talk about.
Because let's be honest, motherhood is as hard as it is joyful.
So why not embrace it? Lean into the growth, the struggle, the magic. This is your opportunity for complete and utter personal transformation.
Come with us. We're so glad you're here.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
Great. My kid's sleeping right now.
You're dressed like The Rock. Life is good.
Okay, it's a black t-shirt. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This is
a
my
gold
wardrobe.
chain over the black t-shirt. So
It's under, and
it was
I
over
just
when
never
we
take
started.
this off. It's just my normal, like, everyday. Oh my God. It's from Grandma. It makes me feel close to her. I don't look like The Rock.
All right, what are you loving about motherhood?
Wait, let's tell people what we're going to be talking about.
Oh, sure.
We're going to be talking about dads today because dads are rad.
They are. We have so many to celebrate.
We have so many good dads to celebrate, which is amazing. Also, I think increasingly about single moms.
Oh, man.
Are you kidding me? On single dads? How do you do this?
I know. It's
How do you
incredible,
do this?
actually. Blows my mind.
Thanks for being you. Thanks for being here. Okay, before we dive into it, what are you loving about parenting this week?
You know, this is really funny, but it makes a big difference. Nora just turned 2, and we flipped her car seat to be front-facing.
Oh.
And let me tell you, it is a game changer. Not only does she look so flipping cute.
Well, she just is really
cute. She's
cute.
just really cute, but her little self, like in, air quotes, big girl car seat. It's the same car seat, just flipped around.
She's just so
She
chuffed.
looks extra small, and she's so cute.
Love it. Okay.
How about you?
We've been baking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really he just loves getting the big step stool out and just dumping things in. He's gotten really good at whisking inside the bowl most of the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's so into eggs.
Yes.
He can now get into the fridge by himself.
Uh-oh.
And actually access every single one of the shelves because he's good at climbing, which is horrifying. So if you don't get to him in time, he's already in the top shelf. And his favorite thing to do, and he's done this in the morning sometimes, he'll just like show up at my bedside with an egg, like a raw egg. Like he's obsessed with getting eggs to crack.
It's so.
And if you don't catch him in time, he will also get out a bowl and crack the egg in the bowl.
So cute.
He's obsessed with food, like his mama.
As he should be.
And so he's also going to know how to cook by the time he's 3.
Incredible.
Yeah, here we are.
Good work.
Thank you. What's hard about mothering this week?
It's been really rainy. Again, kind of a lame answer, but like when you're stuck inside, very different world. Love the summer. We have a fenced-in backyard. Love to just let them out with the dog. Just know that they're outside getting so dirty, and it's fine. Yeah. How about you?
My little mama heart, for listeners know, I'm a fresh mom, right? Like my kid's 22 months, will be 2 shortly. Haven't been in the game that long. My mama heart just got totally shattered last week. We were traveling. We were on a road trip, and we were staying at a hotel in St. Louis, and we went out to the pool one day, and at the pool there were these 2 little kids. I'm going to be honest, they were just pretty bratty. It was maybe like a 4-year-old girl and a 6-year-old boy, and they had a mountain of toys, screens, all of the like bad processed snacks, and a caretaker who I think was their grandma, who I did not appreciate the way that she was speaking to these children. This is all kind of apparent within the first 30 seconds. But Kieran is just so obsessed with small people. He just loves small people. And so they had a ball, and he just wanted to go play with the ball. He was so excited. He was like, ball, mama, ball, mama. And I was like, oh, that's the kids' toys. Like they're playing with it. And the grandma's like, oh, share, guys. He can play with it. And I'm like, oh, okay. The kids are just like deadpan. I don't think I saw him smile once.
Yeah.
So Kieran's playing with the ball, and he's so excited to play with this ball. He's even more excited to show the girl the ball. Like he just goes up to her and is trying to like, he's like offering it to her like a little
Oh, like little
gift.
baby bird.
Like, and she just deadpanned and just like frowned at him and just like took the
I
ball.
mean, how sad for everybody, because like what happened that those kids aren't charmed? You
Right?
know?
And Kieran had he was just like, okay. And then kind of kept going up to her and just like slowly waving, like
Oh
slightly
my
wave.
gosh,
That's really when my
stop.
heart broke. Yeah, I had to leave. And Kieran was just so sweet and curious the whole time. And
Mm.
I'm just like, baby boy.
Yeah, and like not that it makes the situation any easier, but like, great start to those learning moments of like teaching him that people will be like that and he can still be loving and happy and he still has good attachment and
For the rest
yeah.
of my life, right?
Yeah.
Meet people at every phase in life.
Yeah, Charlie's obsessed right now with the idea of bad guys and like he was
Oh.
sure there weren't bad guys in Wisconsin.
Oh,
And like that's been his
Charlie.
thing this week is like, but mama, there are not bad guys in
Not
Wisconsin.
in Wisconsin, Charlie. No.
Well, no, I mean, I really have said like, yes, like there really are. Like, so like
Yeah.
we were driving today and he goes, are there bad guys in the woods? And that one was at least easier. I'm like, honestly, not usually. Like the woods are pretty safe.
Yeah, generally. But
Like,
depending on the woods, but any woods you would take
right.
him to, yeah.
But I'm trying to just teach him like life skills, right? Like I finally had to explain
Yes.
like that's why you can't go in the front by yourself. Because yes, there are bad guys. They're not generally here, but they could be, and that's why I need to be there. Like, he's stuff he needs to learn. And I'm glad it's with me and not somebody else, but still jarring to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much uncomfortable growth as a mother. Like,
Yeah,
make it
man.
stop, but also give me more.
Give
What
me
is this?
more. Anyways, we are talking about dads
Yeah. Can we
today.
just say, thank God we're not in the heartache alone? Like,
Yes.
and you know what? Sometimes when I have problems with fish holes as an adult, you know, Kieran met a couple fishhole kids, right? You know what happens. It happens when we're adults.
Yeah.
I kind of often call my dad about it because he's very good at boundaries. He's very
Yes.
good at clearly identifying, adding clarity to a situation,
Mm-hmm.
talking about the boundaries, love and compassion, cut and dry.
And like,
No
was it your
wallowing.
problem? Because if it's your problem, you should fix it,
Oh yeah, I'm not
and
gonna
if
whine at
it's
my dad. That's
And
just
if it's
not.
not your problem, like walk away and stop whining at me. Like remove yourself from the situation. Like I even
Which yeah,
remember with like bad teachers, growing up, you're like, well, did you do your work? Did you do such and such and such? Yes. Okay, well, you still need to pass the class.
yeah,
You'll have great teachers in college. You're fine. Move
right.
on.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
love it. So this
So
first part, as you might be able to tell, might be a bit of an ode to Mark O'Leary, our father.
it could be. We're gonna see. But either way, we're gonna talk about our dad. Lots of gratitude there. We're gonna talk about our husbands, the new dads on the
Ooh.
block. Yeah, come along, learn some things, judge us, laugh a little.
Well, I think we're just going to acknowledge right off the bat, like we had an amazing dad.
Yep.
And that has also affected, I think, greatly the men that we have married.
Yeah.
And so hopefully this is going to be just like us celebrating good men, because I think we need more of that.
Absolutely.
We need more of celebrating good women, good moms, good dads, good
Celebrate.
men.
Do we all just need to party a little more?
I think we do. So we're going to start with that. And also just acknowledging, like, hopefully there's some takeaway, because I love like reading a novel about a really good mom, or I love
Yeah.
reading a novel about an amazing grandma and being like, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully it can be just a feel good, here's some takeaways kind of episode.
Love it. Okay, let's start coming in hot here. Our dad, he's got 4 kids. They're all female. He has 4 daughters, which that concept terrifies me as I am a woman, and that is terrifying to me.
To
He
have
really
4
rose to
daughters.
the occasion. Yeah, he's a phenomenal girl dad.
But, and many
Oh.
will say, thank God, can you imagine if he had sons? The house would have been burnt down.
I don't know.
ASAP.
No, one
Subido.
at least somebody wouldn't have survived.
Subido damage.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it would have been. Yeah. So, the universe unfolds as it should. But okay, so the 4 of us have all dated actively. 3 of us are married. And we have yet to date a fishhole. Any one of us. We have yet to date a man who treated us poorly or was just generally a degenerate or a delinquent in any way.
Yeah, and the really shocking thing as we were talking about that is I wouldn't say that 3 of us are married out of the 4. I wouldn't say that any 3 of us have married people who are a lot like our dad.
Yeah, that's true, because some people will say, "Yeah, you marry your dad." I'm like, "I don't super buy
Right.
that."
Obviously, there's some, like, core thing that we were attracted to because we were raised with it that must have just, like, been a guideline because
Well,
it
we
sure worked
had
out.
automatic standards that I don't think we even could have defined.
I still can't.
Yeah, but I have a certain standard for how I expect a man to treat me, and that
Mhm.
comes from the way he treated us growing up, but also the way he treated mom, the way they
Mhm.
modeled marriage for us.
Mhm.
So, for me, if that standard's not being met even, I think I'm thinking back to previous situations. Even if I couldn't put it into words or I couldn't really put my finger on it, if it made me feel a certain way, he's out. I'm done.
Mhm. And there's just some sense of, like, great familial loyalty.
Yeah.
Like, even, within, like, our husbands, like, the sons-in-laws for sure have their own little thing going. They're
With
like,
each other,
"We
like they're
we are in
buddies.
this, yeah.
Yeah.
We are married to O'Leary women.
Yep.
We're gonna survive this together."
So, shout out to Mark. Shout out to all the girl dads also. How are you treating your wives? Are they the queens of your good, because your daughters are watching.
Really?
So, we had a really charmed existence. Obviously, we also have problems. Like, we've had our fair share of temper tantrums and arguments with our dad.
Mhm.
We've had our fair share of problems that we've worked through. Like, this is not a picture perfect life because
This
no
is
one has
life.
that.
Right.
However, overall, just so grateful and so much value that we still hold in our life from this passed on to us from our dad. What's really interesting to me is that I think for both of our parents, I have this level of not quite reverence, but a little bit, just so much appreciation for their intentionality in their parenting and how they did things. I aspire to a lot of the things they gave us in their parenting. However, my expectations for my day to day with Kyle are pretty different.
Mhm. And that makes sense. I mean, I feel the same way, but also expectations for us are different. So
Right.
expectations for them have to be different.
Right, which is a gift because we keep progressing as women. I love that societal norms are shifting and that there are more ways than ever to be a woman in this world, which means
Mhm.
the
There
same
have
kind
to
of
be more
must be
ways to be a man.
true
Yeah.
for men, yes, and
Mhm.
it's a little messy figuring that out. It's a little messy to be in flux, which is really
Mhm.
what I think we are in terms of gender roles
Mhm.
and in terms of how the traditional family structure looks and works in 2025.
Mhm.
It's
We're gonna
interesting
dig in.
holding both, right? Like what I loved or what I didn't from my childhood and my expectations for my husband and my current parenting journey. It's kind of a difficult thing to put together for me sometimes.
Can you give a little, like, what are some of those differences, do you think? Because I bet people will resonate.
Sure. So, growing up, super traditional family structure,
Mhm.
traditional within the last probably like 5 decades, I would say. So, dad was the primary breadwinner. Mom actually homeschooled us, but also was the CEO of the household, right? So, she
Mhm.
was doing all the grocery shopping. She was doing most of the cooking. Dad cooked sometimes, but it was usually on
Mhm.
the weekends. And it was kind of rare otherwise. And she was doing all the cleaning. The mental load was fully on her
Mhm.
from where I sit. We talk about the mental load today. That was just mom's, and I don't recall there ever being any conversation that we were aware of surrounding divvying that up or sharing that mental load.
The only one that I remember is I was always shocked that mom did the taxes. I was like, "This is so bad. I'm so sorry, mom." I was like, "Wait, you know how to manage the money?" I was shocked.
Are you serious?
I am not kidding you. When I learned, like, when I like saw her with like TurboTax and everything, I was like, "Wait, you know how to do all this?"
How old
Yeah,
were
I'm not
you?
kidding you. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
It's a
how old were
very
you when you thought
weird
that?
thing. Like middle school.
Funny.
Mhm. I just didn't ever think of her in that role because that's not what we saw. Like, we saw
Sure.
her as the caregiver, which had nothing to do with money besides, like, making sure we were under our budget in the grocery store.
She also literally taught us math.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like money to me. It was Like if Pedro has 5 apples and whatever has
Okay.
2,
Okay,
how
on
many do
any
we
given
have?
week, how many times would you watch dad purchase something versus mom?
Great point. Again, who knows? Who knows? That was the only like, what? These gender roles are messy for me right now.
That's so interesting. Well, dad was the money maker. He was
Right,
making all the money. He was in
right.
charge of bringing in the money for the
So I
family.
think that's why it was weird to me. I was like, dad's gonna bring it all in, but then like mom's gonna do all the stuff with it.
It is a really interesting, like, disjointed there's gotta be so much trust between the 2 of you
Mm-hmm.
to execute that well. Hi, Emily here. I'm interrupting briefly with a quick ask for you. It's the only ask we're ever going to make of you, and it's this. If you're enjoying the show, if these conversations are adding value to your life, please make sure you're following us on whatever platform you usually listen on. This really helps us grow the show and make sure that we are capturing quality experts for our interviews. So please support the project if you're enjoying. If you're feeling like you have extra energy, please check us out on social and make sure you're following along there at the Real Mom Hub on all platforms. And we have a weekly newsletter. You can sign up for that on our website at therealmomhub.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so grateful for y'all. Hey, Cal, do you
Hey,
remember when I was first pregnant? One of the first questions I came to you in a panic over?
what do I wear?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, "What the heck do I put on my body?" And do you remember the first recommendation you had for me?
I'm sure it was Kindred Bravely because I tell every single new mom that they have to look into Kindred Bravely.
Yeah, no, I that was how I remembered it too. Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Okay,
think specifically the leggings were
yeah,
the
fave
starting.
products. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Leggings, bras. I mean, everything in between. You know what I've been wearing recently, which is funny? The really nice bamboo no slip like hospital socks.
Shut the front
I
door.
was out of socks, put them on. They were so nice. I haven't taken them off for 3 days.
I've never tried those. They're incredible. All of the things I've had from them, I've had for like 3 years.
Mhm.
No wear and tear even
No, it's amazing.
somehow. They don't pill. They're airy. I mean, yeah, phenomenal product. And this company is founded by women. It's led by women, moms specifically. So they get us. We love them.
Mhm. So how do listeners support this mom-owned business?
They can use the link in our show notes. Start there and make sure that you enter our code, the Real Mom Hub 15 at checkout for 15% off your purchase.
And you can buy all these staples that honestly you'll keep in your drawers long after maternity postpartum season is done for you.
Yeah, I never put mine away. My
Worth
body
it.
shrank back almost back to normal.
And so did
And
the clothes.
the leggings still
Mhm.
fit me.
Incredible.
How? We don't know.
Incredible.
We don't know, but we love them. Thank you, Kinder
Kindred
Bravely.
Bravely.
Yeah, so that was the biggest way that it looked different. And for me as a woman, and also Kyle and I have been together for a decade. And for most of the time, we've both been working similar hours for
Mhm.
similar dollars.
Mhm.
And frankly, in our smaller apartment, I did always have the mental load for the household, which was fine when it was just the 2 of us, 'cause he just wasn't raised to think about those things and he didn't care to.
Mhm.
But I firmly believe in sharing that now. And, like,
Mhm.
we've been partners and equal and everything else. Why would this not be part of your world? Like, I need a little more from you
Mm.
once we've had a kid. It's just it
Mhm.
hits different.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think that's the honestly one of the trickiest thing is the mental load because honestly, it's nice to be able to share, but also we are really, I think, doing some work trying to figure out how that looks. And I'm hoping it'll be easier for our children, but I don't think it's going to be easier for us because we're just frustrated then if we're not sharing the mental load versus before it was like, well, you're just not. That's how it works, like in the generation
You
before
do
us.
this, I do this, this is your
Right.
sphere, this is my sphere.
Right. And now it's a lot of gray area and there's
So much
so
gray
much buzz
area.
about it. And
Yep.
then I feel like I'm always thinking about it and I'm mad when it's not happening. And it's a tricky thing. And I think it's
It
worth
is.
figuring out.
I also think we're talking a lot about how it's difficult for women. I think it's really difficult for men because most women were raised to think about these things, to track these things, to have these expectations. if you take
As in be able to, like, manage a home,
manage a home,
expectations.
manage your social schedule, think in terms of the future and all of the needs that fit into that, all of the many layers, like the
Mhm.
project managing piece.
Mhm.
That's been bred into us since, I mean, it probably started when we were 7 and mom taught us how to clean a bathroom.
Mhm.
Kyle's never taught how to clean a bathroom or clean anything.
We were expected at such a young age
Yeah,
to be cleaning the kitchen, to be cleaning a
which I'm
bathroom, to be
grateful for.
vacuuming.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so efficient because I've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
So I want all my kids to have that.
Yes, boys included.
Yeah,
But I just really do think that it's not fair to expect them to change overnight. It's also not fair for them to not do the work. So if we focus on the fairness, it's already a non-starter if you're in a
sure.
loving relationship. But I just want to give the dads who are out there trying a lot of credit because I don't think it was expected of them when they were 10. I don't think
Mhm.
people told them this was going to be part of their role. I just don't think it was on generations before us. I don't think it was on their radar for boys
Mhm.
most of the
Mhm.
time.
And then the same thing goes with parenting. Like, how many people have told my husband, "You're such a hands-on dad." You know? And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, he does change diapers." I mean, he's a great dad, but it's just so funny that that's new.
Well, from the external world, Kevin's getting all these kudos of like, "Oh, you're such a hands-on dad." And when he comes home to you, you're like, "I mean, thanks for parenting."
Right, exactly. Which is also probably a bit dysphoric for him because he is getting all of that acclamation from other people, and then I'm like, "Duh." It's yeah, again, it's hard, and I'm glad we're doing the work. But I'm grateful for our dad and for, his dad that taught him a lot of what he knows, and used with us, and I'm really grateful for our husbands being invested in their fatherhood, and I will acknowledge it's hard.
Let's just talk about some childhood moments where Marco O'Leary just really
Really
shone.
shown. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ready?
Yeah.
How about that time that mom was at summer camp that she like
Okay.
ran
Yeah.
and he didn't want to rake the lawn, but for some reason he
Rake the
cared.
lawn
Uh-huh. For some reason he cared about the leaves being on the lawn. And I don't know
in
if
the
like
middle of summer?
maybe yeah, and he never cared, but for some reason in this specific situation, he wanted to get rid of the leaves. I don't know if there was like a bad tree, like whatever.
Okay.
So instead of raking the lawn, we burned it. Like we did a controlled burn of the lawn.
Were we in the country at this point, or are we?
Yeah, we were in the Woodstock house, and then mom came home, and, like, the entire lawn is burned.
He just burned their
She's like,
lawn.
WTF? Because also, like, the worst part is then, like, anytime we went to play outside, we're just, like, tracking soot. You don't remember this?
No, it's coming back. Like, the forward thinking, non-existent. Any mom is like, "I know what happens to my house that I'm in charge of keeping clean when my kids are in the mud or ash outside for extended periods. I also know what happens to my mental health if I can't shoo my kids out the door to go have fun
Even,
outside."
like,
Like,
what if I wanna open the windows? It's so bad. And, like, I'm sure we'd clean the house because every time mom left for this camp, like, we had to have the house clean when she came back. Dad was great about that.
that is unhinged.
But I'm sure, like, seeing a burnt lawn, you don't even care if the house is clean. And, like, we were pros at controlled burns. So he could take 4 elementary age kids and safely burn the lawn. So, like, kudos to him.
Oh my god. Yeah, you know what? He's done, so to be clear, no, I'm not gonna give our listeners any context. Our dad just yeah, okay. I wanna just fondly reminisce on the time dad taught me how to ski. I think I
Oh,
was
downhill. We're talking downhill ski.
downhill skiing. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was maybe like 9-ish.
Oh, you were old.
Maybe
Okay.
I was 8. I was
Old enough
little.
to, like, know that this was dumb.
Well, okay, no. So leading up to it was just dad. Dad just took me. He left mom with you or something. And so mom all week has been prepping me. Okay, so there's this thing called the bunny hill. It's a little smaller, it'll be more gentle. And so you're gonna get there, you're gonna get your skis, and dad's gonna take you to the bunny hill. She's
Mhm.
telling me about like the magic rope to pull, and I'm like, great, I can, okay, I'm prepped, I'm ready. We get there. Dad jams some skis on my feet and just like belly halt, like just shoves me
Oh,
under his
yeah.
arm. I
Football
must have been
carries.
8 or younger. Football carries me and then immediately just like skis us to the
Chairlift.
yeah, no, he took
Not
me
the bunny hill.
straight to the chairlift. And so he like bodily hauls me onto the chair with me. No warning. I have no idea what's going on. He's literally just like manhandling me, wrestling me onto this chairlift. I don't know how my skis stayed on. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, this is not what I discussed. This is not what we talk about. I'm like, Dad, what are we doing? This is not the magic rope. Mom told me about the bunny hill. Where's the bunny hill? We haven't gone down. I haven't stood on these skis in snow yet. Like you jammed them on my feet. And then what are we doing? He's like, well, there's no such thing as a bunny hill. And I was like, Mom told me.
Also, were you at the point of the chairlift where you were going over the bunny hill?
So that came next. He had just told me there was no such thing as a bunny hill. And I look down and I see the small fry going up the magic rope on this like vaguely sloped, like slight incline. I see the bunny hill and I'm like, Dad, that we missed the bunny hill. Oh, sorry, honey. No, this is exactly where we're supposed to be. We get to the top of the mountain. He hauls me off this chair, puts me at the top of the hill, points my skis straight,
like French fry,
parallel straight down the hill, puts himself behind me and puts one ski on either side of my skis. And then we start going down the hill, but gravity being in effect because we're on land. He's a lot heavier than I am, so he literally just plows me down. Like he just
like he goes
over me. And I'm like just left behind.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, what do I do now? I can't stand up. I've never stood in the snow with skis on.
Oh my.
Well, honey, you're going to have to crawl. Literally. So this is the top of the mountain.
I literally can hear that. Yeah, you're going to have to crawl.
Well, I don't know how to get to you. Yeah. Yeah. So he tries this a couple more times, which is still confusing to me. Before saying, well, this isn't really worked out the way I thought it would. So we're going to have to get down to the hills somehow. I guess you're on your own. And he stayed there. Like he didn't just leave me. But it was a mess. It was messy.
Okay, here's one. Again in Woodstock, Dad shooting squirrels out of the living room window off of the bird feeder because he's a big bird guy. And the squirrels were eating the bird food. Mm-hmm. And just shooting them out the window wasn't enough. But once you kill an animal, you obviously have to use it. That's the responsible thing to do. So then squirrel stew for dinner.
I have a layer to add to this story.
Oh no. Is there more?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So the squirrel bird feeder, this bird feeder was right outside the living room window, and that's on the first floor. This bird feeder that the squirrels keep invading. Mm-hmm. Dad and his friend Mark, 2 Marks, start shooting at the squirrels from upstairs on the second story. They had just put in brand new windows in this upstairs window, or this upstairs area. They were refinishing the whole upstairs. Mm-hmm. And so Dad's got the gun cocked out that window. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember which Mark it was, if it was our dad or the other Mark. But one of them's shooting. He's like, I got it right in my sights. Why isn't the squirrel going down? Because they're shooting and shooting. The squirrel's not going anywhere. And we know that the gun's firing because I was up there with him. And I'm like, this is a disaster. And then, I don't know. Try again. Like they're just egging each other on. They can't figure out what's going on. They had somehow gotten the gun lodged on the window casing and had shot out this the ceiling part of the window instead of the squirrel. The sights were correct, but the actual barrel of the gun was blocked by the thing that's supposed to keep the water away from your window.
And can we be clear? Dad is intense about gun safety. If we ever go shooting with him, I mean, it's borderline scary. I don't want to blink wrong.
He's super, yeah, he's very respectful of guns. Yeah, so that's the layer that happened before they actually started shooting the squirrels to make squirrel stew. God, this is so redneck.
Yeah, okay, here's another one, rutabaga pancakes.
Oh, no.
Like, why? Why? I still remember. Why would you ever try?
Well, he thought they were gonna be like potato
They were
pancakes.
so bad. They were
That
so bad.
bitter taste as a kid.
Yeah. Mhm.
He makes really
Mhm.
good pancakes. Like, why is screw up a
Mhm.
good thing?
Yeah, there's been some good.
Like, it
Yeah.
was kinda like a Sunday thing for like, dad would often on the weekend make, like, a pancake or waffle
Mhm.
breakfast. Phenomenal.
Mhm. Oh, here's another redneck one. Dad hits deer all the time when he's driving. Like, just really
I don't
must
think
not
he
be
has
able to
in, like,
see.
10 years.
Yeah, I think ever since the eye surgery. Like, he got whatever that LASIK, whatever on his eyes. I don't think he's had a deer since.
That's a really
Anyways,
good point. I never lined those 2
like,
things
he's
up, huh.
blind, basically, and he's driving
Not
at night. It was
anymore.
always at night. He'd hit a deer. So we just moved into, like, the newest house we'd ever lived in. It's, like, in a subdivision. I mean, it is, like, suburban, like, really funny, not usually our style. We'd been there, like, what, 3 days? I think it was winter, and dad hits a deer. So, as he does, of course, we have to eat the animal that he killed. So he brings it home,
Yeah.
but, like, there's nowhere to string it up, and it's cold. Like, it's really cold. So he strings it up in the garage of this new home that we moved into, bleeds it out in the garage. Like, he has buckets underneath, but of course it's all over. And we had a friend visiting, and she like brought him a glass of wine. So we just have a picture of dad butchering this thing in our garage, holding a glass of wine.
She also brought a really nice charcuterie situation, like, so much nice cheese and, like, cured meats, and it was a really classy affair with the carcass and the yeah. You can't make this shit up fish up.
Fish. Oh, I have another one. It's rolling now.
Oh, you go.
Okay, we're in the Smoky Mountains on one of our family vacations.
Yeah.
I think you'll remember this better. He decides he needs some legit moonshine. And so where did
Oh,
he end
yeah.
up buying this moonshine?
Okay,
I
can
mean,
we also okay, so I was in college for this trip, and I remember walking in he's like, "I need some moonshine. I need some legit, like, hillbilly moonshine." I'm like, "Okay." So we're walking into, like, bars and, like, establishments around Nashville, probably.
oh, yeah.
It was an area where I'm sure they were used to you got the sense that they were used to visitors.
Well, and he really was trying to suss it out because there was a lot of, like, touristy moonshine spots.
Right,
Like,
he
you
didn't wanna
could.
buy it from a cash register.
Right.
He wanted it off of, like, the
Like
back
a
of a
pickup truck,
yeah.
yeah.
So he's like, "No, where do I get the legit stuff?" And they're like, "That's illegal, we don't do that." So after the 5th, establishment that was like, "What are you talking about? We don't do that." I was like, "Okay, well, why don't we just pull over to the store that has a bunch of mushroom tie-dye
Oh, that's
apparel
right.
in the windows? That seems promising. It seems like way better than, like,
So
these nice
we all went
bars."
in.
Yeah, and
We
she
all
yeah,
went.
okay, back to you. Yeah, we all go in yeah.
I actually only remember the mushroom store and being like, because I was in high school, like,
Yeah.
"Whoa." But then who did he end up buying it off
Well,
of?
she goes, "Let me call my buddy Ewok."
Ewok.
Yeah. So this guy, I think, was my height, which is about 5 feet, red hair. I guess he was on TV, so he was on, like, some reality TV show, like,
Oh,
taking people through the mountains hunting for ginseng. Like, he was a character,
so
but sure as fish,
funny.
he had a pickup truck because she called him. He's like, "Oh, yeah, sure, whatever." We go out to this kind of remote location. Like,
Yeah.
I think mom was getting pretty
Yeah,
nervous.
we
And
were.
there's sure enough is a pickup truck, super friendly guy. Like, he was a hoot and a half, full of jars, full of moonshine. He'd put a Jolly Rancher in each one. So there were some like neon jars.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was.
really on brand with the mushroom.
I mean, really, I think dad got what he wanted. I think that was exactly the experience he was looking for on his family vacation with 4 children.
Oh, yeah, wholesome. That is what we are. Is wholesome.
I will say also,
Oh.
I was on a camping trip with dad once, and I was in high school, and at this point, I had started buying my own underwear.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Mhm.
all thongs pretty much,
Mhm.
and we had to stop and do laundry because 'cause I'd been at camp for 2 weeks when he picked me up with no laundry, and the dryer on that laundromat was broken.
Mhm.
And I think I like went to the bathroom or something. I left for a minute, and that was when it was discovered there was no way to dry my clothing.
Yeah.
And I came back to him just like silently hanging my undergarments up
Like a
on a public
parking lot
fence.
fence post.
And I'm sure he was horrified. Like
Okay, but
absolutely
I
horrified.
will
But
let
he
you
didn't
know that
say anything.
well, because this is why that was not the first time that he'd had to deal with your thongs, because I was there the first time he did. He was doing laundry, which actually was not
Wait,
his
what?
usual. I think mom
No.
was gone. Mom was
Okay.
gone.
Okay.
He was doing laundry, and the best part is he was on the phone with his brother, Sean, and literally I could hear from the other room, "Hang on a minute, Sean. What the hell? What is this?"
Yeah,
I mean, I think like floss, words like that were thrown around, but
that checks out.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
didn't say a thing.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, choose your battles.
I suppose.
Oh, Mark, thank you for the laughs.
There's so many more. I don't
There
even,
are. We
these
could
are
keep
just
going,
top of
but
mind, but oh man, pretty good.
thanks to all the dads out there.
Yeah, we see you. You're vital. We appreciate you so much. Thanks for everything you do.
Love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to The Real Mom Hub. Our music is by Naomi O'Leary. You can find us on social at The Real Mom Hub. We're not the authority or even very educated on the medical issues discussed. Do your own research, talk to an expert, make your own decisions, and call us if you learn anything new.
If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram, or better yet, subscribe to our newsletter. If you don't, that's fine. We can all move on. Our purpose here is community, so if we've resonated with you, tell a friend.
Thanks for listening.